On Osrc 7, Governor Ayedatiwa inaugurates Civil Service Commission members with a charge to prioritize efficient service delivery or renovation. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. I am Oyewumi Ayinibara. The newly inaugurated commissioners of the Ondo State Civil Service Commission are in charge to do their best to add value to the present administration in the state by justifying the current efficient service delivery and urge workers in the state to shun acts capable of bringing the state to disrepute. Governor Ayedatiwa, who congratulated the appointees, reaffirmed his passion to make the state better. Common House reporter Wahab Bankole has details.
The arrival of Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa at the Koko Conference Hall of the Governor's Office in Akure for the new appointees, it was time to take the oath of office and allegiance.
That as a member of Ondo State Civil Service Commission,
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, who congratulated the new appointees, urged them to justify their elevation by adding value to the state civil service. Governor Ayedatiwa stressed the need for them to prioritize the state's interest while maintaining fairness, justice, equity, and transparency in the discharge of their duties.
I wish to therefore assure you that our administration will continue to promote transparency, excellence, and dignity in the discharge of our constitutional powers of appointment in the overall interest of our dear state. Public service, being the engine room of government, must at all times live true to its traditional roles in order to facilitate the accomplishment of government projects, policies, and programs. Our administration, since inception of office, has been deliberate in prioritizing the welfare of public servants.
The governor, who emphasized the importance of a rigorous selection process to ensure competent and productive officers within the civil service, highlighted his administration's efforts to enhance workers' welfare, including regular promotion, recruitments into critical sectors, regular salary payment, and provision of official vehicles to appointed permanent secretaries.
Let me reiterate my regular charge to public servants, as represented by the accounting officers that are here, not to be directly or remotely connected with anything that can bring the government into disrepute or jeopardize the sanctity of the state civil service. You must be good ambassadors in and out of office environment.
Ayedatiwa praised the Civil Service Commission for its roles in promoting high moral values, efficiency, and responsiveness within the state civil service system. Responding on behalf of other appointees, Mr. Matthew Imoru appreciated Governor Ayedatiwa for the opportunity to serve, which I promised not to betray the trust and confidence.
We pray that the Almighty God will help us to meticulously keep to our oath, and we will do that by the grace of God.
The newly filled positions became available following the expiration of the tenure of 3 former commissioners on June 13, 2024. In an interview, one of the appointees, Mr. Sunday Agbotoba, said all hands will be on deck to add value to the present administration through the Civil Service Commission.
We are going to ensure that in whatever we do, as regards recruitment, discipline, and promotion, that we put in our best so that Ondo State can excel.
The new appointees are Mr. Matthew Imoru, Mr. Sunday Agbotoba, and Mr. Iwani Akboibi. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
In the meantime, the federal government has warned that unauthorized disclosure of leakage of official documents capable of impacting the country negatively is a punishable offense. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, gave the warning at a workshop in Abuja. Represented by the Permanent Secretary in his office, Dr. Namdi Aberi, the SGF said leakage of sensitive official documents constitutes felony for which there is no defense, either in the Constitution or Freedom of Information Act. Akume recorded that the government had devised measures in the past to contain the leakage of sensitive official information through the issuance of circulars in August 2021. Meanwhile, the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation has ordered the capitation of accrued pension of 7 federal civil servants. A memo by the office says the move is in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance to focus on employees who were employed on or before June 30, 2024. According to memo, the move would enable the government to plan ahead of time towards the early release of workers' entitlement. National Youth Service Corps members deployed to Ondo State will henceforth receive a monthly stipend from the state government as part of efforts to enhance their welfare and improve productivity. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the swearing-in ceremony of the 2024 batch Bistrom 1 of Corps members at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Kariakoko also promised to rehabilitate the facilities at the camp, including provision of solar-powered light. The governor urged the Corps members to be dedicated and ready for the task ahead, as they will be exposed to daunting but fulfilling challenges of national development. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankole completes the story.
Inspection, Your Excellency.
The first assignment performed by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa on arrival at the National Youth Service Corps Permanent Orientation Camp in the Kariakoko was to inside of honor.
May I have your permission to dismiss the guards into the guards room, Your Excellency.
Thereafter, it was time for a special display. In his address of welcome, the state coordinator of NYSC, Mr. Samuel Pepu, thanked Governor Aiyedatiwa for his presence at the event, noting that it is the first time a governor will visit the orientation camp in the last 13 years.
The orientation program is a highly regimented program which has been specifically designed to imbue in you those lofty ideals of tolerance, perseverance, teamwork, and patience.
The Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Saka Yusuf Ogunleye, said the governor's presence is a testament to his love and commitment to youth development. He charged the corps members to contribute their quota to the development of the state.
To very distinguished prospective corps members, I want you to see your mobilization and consequent deployment as a divine arrangement, and I am confident that this reality will prompt you to settle down in the state and serve the nation consciously.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who congratulated the corps members, urged them to be fully focused on the assignment of serving the nation meritoriously with passion and dedication while contributing to the development of the state. Governor Aiyedatiwa reiterated the determination of his administration to adequately cater for their welfare and security throughout their service here in the state. The governor promised that his administration will not shy away from efforts that will bring lasting positive memories to corps members in the state.
As we therefore induct you into the national service of our country today, we face a greater challenge to prove that the future of our country and coming generations will be secured in your hands. This is why you must eschew all negative tendencies and rededicate yourselves with renewed vigor and determination to the task of bringing about positive changes in your various assignments.
and the power conferred on me as the governor of Ondo State. I also approve the grant for all of you, your various places of assignment. Going forward, we will get stable.
The area is clean. I can say that disinfectant, the bathroom, the toilet, but because they are old, some kind of renovation needs to be made, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
A total of 1,423 corps members are expected to be part of the mandatory one-year service for the batch after taking the oath of allegiance. From Ikare Akoko, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7. Court sentences ex-man 4 others to death for abducting and killing his father. This and more after the break. Please do rejoin us.
Èràbé má bá jà o, má bá bínú. Ọ̀nà lọ́rọ̀ bá ti rẹ̀yìn ẹ̀, èjú bá jà o. Ọ̀nà lọ́rọ̀ bá ti ṣe tiẹ̀, èjú bá jà o.
Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website about 97 surgeries performed under the Orange's health insurance scheme in less than 2 years of existence in Ondo State. The Director General Ondo State Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyine, gave the figure at the briefing in Akure to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the commission. Osrc's Troy Pius now completes the story.
Representatives of the Ministry of Health, Education, World Health Organization, Ondo State Workforce, among others, converged on Akure, the state capital, for a briefing organized by the Ondo State Contributory Health Commission to mark its 5th anniversary. The Special Advisor to Governor on Health, Professor Simidele Odimayo, appreciated the state government for the developmental strides witnessed in the health sector.
Is sterling and is worthy of commendation.
The Director General of the Contributory Health Commission, Dr. Abiodun Oyine, reeled off achievements of the Commission in the last 5 years to include provision of quality healthcare services to enrollees of various schemes of the Commission.
We have enrolled 50,503 vulnerables across 203 wards in the 18 local government areas of the state under the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund program that is codenamed Ilera Loro Scheme. The vulnerables consist of widows, the elderly, people with disabilities, women of reproductive age group, pregnant women, and children under 5.
Messages thanked the government for its support, calling for the extension of the schemes to the people at the grassroots.
We are doing well, and this is the majority of you are doing well, and the sector. I still want to encourage that we will continue to do more.
We have to know that we cannot rest on our oars until everybody in Ondo State is covered under this scheme.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Banji Ajaka, commended the Commission for achievements recorded so far, assuring of government's commitment towards enhancing the health sector.
We thank God the Contributory Health Insurance Commission is here and the scheme is ongoing, and the workers of Ondo State are enjoying it, including myself, and the other people are expecting
outreach to the people of Ondo State, as well as a sensitization tour across major streets in Akure, the state's capital. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
After the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) lifted the embargo on political campaigns ahead of the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, you might expect to see a flurry of activities by political parties across the state. Some of the electorate, however, say there seems to be a lull in campaign activities. In this report, we delve deeper into why this is happening and its possible effects. Saeed Arabisala has more.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) lifted the embargo to commence 150 days before polling day and ends 24 hours prior to that day. Ahead of the November 16, 2024 governorship election in Ondo State, some of the electorate say there appears to be a noticeable quietness on the campaign front.
It's
not their campaign, it's not the noise they make that gives them the victory. They think they already have their strategy, and looking at everybody, sorry to use that word, all of them, I think they're not just serious with it, they just feel it's the usual thing. It's politics as usual. And when it's time, we know how to get these people to vote for us. So basically, I've not seen any seriousness. I've not seen anything that will make people know that, oh, this is the election period. I mean, it's just how many months to the election, and we've not even having the feelings that...
To get reactions to this opinion, Osrc sought update from some of the 17 political parties cleared to feature in the election. Many political parties cited ongoing strategizing efforts as the reason behind this apparent lull. The All Progressives Congress (APC) and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) expressed that they are in the midst of formulating robust campaign strategies.
It's at the final stage of putting the list for the campaign together. As soon as this, we should be able to wrap up this by the end of this week. As soon as that is done, or we start at the world level. We start with meetings at the world level, from there to local government, then proceed to the senatorial, finally at the state, before the campaign will commence in full swing.
So preparations are ongoing. As I speak to you now, the template for the It was inaugurated in Abuja for Edo and Ondo states. So that is, the lineup of activities for the campaigns and the election.
Other representatives of the participating political parties, including the Young Progressive Party, also highlighted the extended campaign season as a factor contributing to the current quiet phase.
Has become lengthened We're talking of almost 4 or 5 months, which is not the normal thing in our previous electoral process. So it's a long distance race when it comes to campaigns. And I think that's why even most parties are also taking their time before they step out, because you know that once you start it and you step out, then the expenses start piling up.
The party officials emphasized the importance of meticulous planning and coordination in their campaigns, noting that despite the lifted embargo, a comprehensive strategy is essential. Professionals echoed a sentiment of minimal campaign activity with the lack of engagement from political entities, which typically seek services such as poster and banner designs as well as promotional materials.
The patronage has been very, very low. That's just have to face it. It's been low. Unless even some of the people that want to do, they would rather bring it from other states.
While the sentiment among citizens reflects a general expectation for heightened political activities, the team lead, Kimpak's Development Initiative, an organization dedicated to advancing democratic governance, Bukola Idowu, tasked politicians on issues-based campaign.
Encouraging the politicians to look at and to do is to see how they conduct and start their campaign with issues around security, issues around the economy of the state. Because we need to promote issue-based campaign and not personality attack.
With the upcoming elections drawing nearer and schedule for campaign having started on June 19, 2024, there is anticipation that campaign efforts will intensify as parties finalize their strategies. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News.
The House of Representatives has resolved to probe alleged exploitative and predatory pricing practices against Nigerian businesses by foreign multinationals operating in Nigeria. The House also asked the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, to immediately halt the unfair business practices perpetrated by some foreign businesses in Nigeria. The decision to embark on the probe followed a motion by Babajimi Benson during plenary. By ensuring competitive trade practices at home and abroad, explaining, however, that some of these companies have not been complying. Our ex-man Isa Ibrahim, along with 4 others, have been sentenced to death for kidnapping and killing his father, Adamu Ibrahim, after collecting 3 million naira ransom. Other convicts sentenced by the State High Court sitting in Ede include Latif Bello, Abdurrahman Soliu, Bello Ibrahim, and Jolanabi Saeed. They were arraigned on counts of conspiracy, kidnapping, and murder alongside the mother of Jolanabi, simply known as Ajibola, who was later discharged on the offences. They pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences, but the prosecuting counsel from the Osrc State Ministry of Justice, Moses Faremi, covered from the house of Jonanobi, where the deceased was kept at Owodede after he was kidnapped in April 17, 2017. They kidnapped Adamu from his house and took him to the house of Jonanobi, demanded ransom of 10 million naira, and later reduced same to 3 million naira, which was paid and delivered at Shagamu in Ogun State. While the accused was in their den, the veil on his face fell off and he recognized his abductors, after which they killed and dismembered his body and threw the part into Ocean River to cover the crime. The accused, through their various counsels, denied their involvement and entered a no-case submission. The presiding judge, Justice Kudirat Akon, while delivering a judgment, said the prosecution counsel was able to establish that the convicts committed a crime on conspiracy, murder, and kidnapping as established in And to the foreign scene, Democrats, shocked by United States President Joe Biden's dismissal debate performance, urged him to be transparent about his mental fitness as he faced the first call from his side to drop out of the election. Some supporters have expressed growing doubts about the 81-year-old's candidacy after last week's televised showdown with Donald Trump when Biden stumbled over his words and lost his train of thought, exacerbating fears about his age. Congressman Lord Doggett became the first Democrat lawmaker to publicly call on Biden to make way for another candidate, saying he was hopeful the president would make the painful and difficult decision to withdraw. Former Speaker of the House and Democratic Party heavyweight Nancy Pelosi said it was legitimate to ask whether Biden's debate disaster was Pakistan has launched a polio vaccination campaign to immunize 11 million children under the age of 5. At least 6 cases have been recorded this year, but security threats, harassment of medical teams and cross-border movement are hampering efforts to eradicate the virus. Shim Aditola has the detail.
It's early morning in Sahabi district in northwestern Pakistan. Health workers accompanied by armed police officers are going door to door as part of a polio immunization campaign. They administer the oral vaccine to children younger than 5 and mark each house to keep track of the numbers. It may look like a simple process, but the work is risky and the pay relatively poor. Some health workers and polio survivors say they receive only
Administering the drops is not easy. We are under constant threat of being attacked, even killed. But we don't have any other option. Either we're killed in the field or we face economic hardship.
The police officers keep close eyes on the team with their assault rifles as they are ready to foil any attack. The government says at least 102 polio field workers, officials and security personnel have been killed, 6 of them this year.
Polio duty, the police told that
providing security to polio vaccination workers is the most difficult duty we have. It's not only them who are under constant threat, we are equally vulnerable.
The work is carried out predominantly by women in conservative countries where men are not allowed inside houses. Polio immunization is risky business in Pakistan as dozens still endemic in Afghanistan and Pakistan. The Prime Minister recently chaired a task force meeting along with philanthropist Bill Gates, whose foundation is funding the campaign. He says he's committed to rooting out the virus.
We were almost close to wiping out polio from the face of Pakistan. But then suddenly, unfortunately, things took a negative turn and it has again come back in certain parts of Pakistan. But that does not mean that we have failed in our efforts.
However, scientists have cautioned a large population cross-border movement and vaccine hesitancy are challenges to completely eradicating polio. Shim Aditola, Osrc News.
And with that report, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, delivery. We also told you that Ondo State government has approved monthly stipend for corps members with a promise to renovate orientation camp. We brought to you a report that court has sentenced a herdsman and 4 others to death for abducting and killing his father after collecting ransom. And finally, from the foreign scene, Democrats have urged the United States President Joe Biden to be transparent about his mental fitness. That's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.